Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be showing you my Stephen King book collection. I'm making this video because I've always loved watching other people's versions of this, and I really love Stephen King. I admire him as a writer, and I love watching like all of his interviews. I feel like I've seen all of his interviews because he's just so intelligent, and I love hearing like what he has to say. The books I have read from him, I've loved. It's kind of embarrassing because I have so many books by him, and I've only read 2. So I know you're watching this and like, seriously? I plan on reading them, okay? I just like bought a whole bunch and like I'm really excited about them, and I want to get back into like reading his books because I started doing that, obviously, read 2 and then stopped. So I need to get back into that, and doing this video will help me get back into his books. So let's get right into it. I have a huge pile right here. Oh my god, it's about to fall over. So most of the books that I have by him have come from used bookstores, so they're really old copies, and I kind of love it. I love old books and just used books. I don't know why, I just do. First copy I have here is of Carrie, obviously by Stephen King. This is a movie cover edition, I think from the most recent film, and you're probably wondering, what is this dot? Like, my used bookstore dotted like a whole bunch of their books for some reason. So there's probably a lot of these in this video that are like that, just ignore it. Haven't read this one, but I really want to because this is his first ever book that he ever published. I think he was writing before this, but it's the first one he published, and Macy, shut up! It's about a girl with some powers, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already know. The next book I have in my collection is one I'm really excited about reading. It is Misery. I'm excited about this one because it is about a writer who gets kidnapped by his biggest fan, who kind of tortures him and wants him to write her a special book for her. That's what I believe this is about. I haven't seen the movie or read this book, but I want to read this book because I'm a writer. A lot of his books have main characters who are writers, but this one just seems really interesting because being kidnapped because they love your writing so much by some scary lady, and I've heard really good things. I'm sorry. Next one I have is The Green Mile, obviously by Stephen King. Pretty sure this is about something in jail. Main character is a prison guard, and I'm guessing some weird creepy stuff happens, and I know there's a movie. Most of these things are movies of some sort. Next one is Cujo. I really like this copy that I got of it. It's really old and stuff, but I like this cover. I always wanted this cover, and when I saw it in the used bookstore, I knew I needed it. It's about this like demented dog. Sounds scary. I don't know how I'll feel about this one because I love dogs so much, and just anything like that might make me scared of them does not sound like something I want, but I'm gonna read this eventually. Next book is Insomnia. I'm pretty sure this is about a guy who cannot sleep because insomnia. And because he can't sleep, he witnesses things happening in his town. That's all I really know about this one. That he can't sleep and he keeps seeing all these terrible things happening at night. This sounds really interesting to me. I don't really know people's thoughts on this. I need to figure that one out because it sounds really cool, but I don't know if this is a book that everyone really likes. Next book is Needful Things, obviously by Stephen King. And this is about a store where everything is for sale. Anything that you could think of your heart's desire is for sale. And I'm guessing some weird things happen. That's all I really can get from the back of this. Sounds pretty cool too. I've almost started this one before, and me too, because I seem like such a fake fan buying all these books and having read them. Next I have Desperation, and I believe this has like a companion, which is The Regulators. I don't have this one. I just found this one and I picked it up. I have no idea what this is about. I'm sorry. Next is Everything's Eventual, which is a short story collection, I believe. Also don't know what this is about, but I think I've heard good things. So we'll see one day. I like this cover. Next is Pet Cemetery, which I really want to read because I've heard so many good things and about how it's one of his really scary ones, and it's about a cemetery for pets. I remember when watching one of his interviews, he almost didn't even want to publish this book because he thought it was so terrifying. That really intrigues me. I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen the movie, so I'm excited about this one. Tell me down below if you liked this one. Next, I have It, which I really want to read. I saw the most recent movie. I really enjoyed it. I still haven't seen the original movie. I probably should, but I've always been so scared of it, yet I've seen the newer one. I need to read this one, but it's so big and I'm intimidated. I know it's absolutely amazing. I've heard how amazing it is, how it's one of his best works. So I know I need to. I'll read all of these books eventually, but they're just so big and I need to find the time. Another gigantic one, The Stand, also by Stephen King. Obviously, I'm on chapter 1. This one seems right up my alley and heard it's absolutely amazing, and I think this is his biggest book. It's so big. How big is it? 1,439 pages. It's a huge book, and I want to read it so bad, but when can I? I don't know. Next, I have the complete Bill Hodges trilogy, I believe that's what it's called, and I have them all in different types of editions. I have a normal paperback, I have a mass market paperback, and then I have a hardcover. It really bothers me. So here's Mr. Mercedes, the first book in the trilogy, Finders Keepers, the second book in the trilogy, and End of Watch, the third book in the trilogy. This is one of his more recent things, and I've heard really good things about it, and I love this cover, so I need to read it. Then I have Under the Dome, another giant book. I don't know if this is like a good one. I'm pretty sure it probably is. It's Stephen King, but is it worth it? I know there was that TV show and I heard it wasn't that good. I'm sure the book is 10 times better. I just need to get hyped for this one. Then I have The Shining, which is the first Stephen King book I ever read. I really love this book. And this was back in the time when I first realized I was so intrigued by him and was excited to read his novels because I watched so many of his inspiring interviews and speeches or whatever, and I just really like the guy as a person, so I want to read all of his books, but he has so many books out that I can't find the time, as I keep saying. Then I also have Dr. Sleep, which is the companion novel to The Shining. Haven't read this, but I heard it's not amazing. Then I have Dreamcatcher. I know nothing about this book other than I love this cover. It's so pretty. I just need to figure out what all these books are about. Next, I have Lizzie's Story. I believe this is about a woman who is trying to run away from her husband, who is a best-selling novelist. This one sounds really interesting too. Then I have Cell, which I heard isn't the best, but there's an apocalypse that has to do with cell phones. I don't really know. Then I have Duma Key, which I've heard is about some sort of artist. For Edgar's creations are not just paintings, but portals for the ghosts of Elizabeth's past, and their power cannot be controlled. That sounds pretty interesting. I believe I've heard good things about this one. Then I have On Writing by Stephen King, which is going to be such an interesting book to read because it's about his writing journey himself and then like tips he has for writers. Sounds like something I need to read. And the final book in my collection is Dolores Claiborne, which I believe this is taking place just a whole crime scene sort of thing. Interviewing someone. That's what I remember hearing about this book, that this whole thing is an interview over a crime. I might be completely wrong, but that's what I thought it was. Always thought this one sounded interesting too. Look how young he looks. I believe I showed you my entire collection. If you want to know the other book that I have read by him, it's Salem's Lot. I used to have a copy of it, but I lent it out and I'm never getting it back, basically, which makes me sad because I love that book so much and I need to buy another copy of it because I'd love to reread it. Just found that one to be so interesting. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like it, comment down below, please subscribe. Have a good day. Make sure to click the bell button by the subscription box so you can be notified always when I post a new video. Follow my social medias, links in the description, and goodbye.